Okay, so today at Apple's iPad event, everyone was super excited about the iPad Pro, but Apple, being super smart, they brought in the iPad Air also. They kind of snuck it in with some really amazing new things. I'm super excited to tell you about it. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe. And I want to hear what you guys think about this. So make sure you drop a comment. All right, let's start talking about this. So, the iPad Air, it now comes in two different sizes. One being the 11 inch and the other being the new 13 inch, which is really interesting because it's actually mimicking the same sizes as the iPad Pro. Now, for the iPad Air, though, that's giving an extra 30% real estate. Much bigger screen to really be able to work and be able to do a lot more up to and doing things like split screens and really more functional. Now, it does come in some really interesting colors. There's space gray, of course, starlight, which is kind of a gold/silver. There's a new purple, and they're brilliant blues. I love the blue personally. Now, the iPad Air, it did get an increase from the M1 chip to the M2 chip, which is really interesting because the M2 chip is the same one that's in the current iPad Pros. So it's going to be fairly powerful, and it's getting quite a boost up from the M1. And it's really going to allow for a lot more power, up to 20 to 30% increase on different various tasks. Now, the current iPad Air has an 8-core GPU, but this new one is going to have a 10-core GPU, which is going to allow for a lot better processing of those amazing images. It still has an 8-core CPU and a 16-core neural engine, which for those who aren't really sure what the neural engine does, that allows for faster processing and learning, more like your AI kind of stuff, like machine learning. Now, it does have, and the camera has been moved to the landscape. So it's right up top now because most of these are being used more like laptop style. So they put it up top finally, which I think is absolutely smart. It's something that's been being asked for a while. Now, the camera does still have 12 megapixel ultra wide, and it does offer center stage, which is going to allow for when you're doing your FaceTime to always stay right in there, right in the center. Now, as far as of the two sizes, the 11 inch, it's going to feel the exact same as the current. So the thickness, the height, everything is just going to feel exactly the same. But the 13 inch, of course, is going to feel a little taller, a little wider, because both got increased by an inch and a half, respectively. Now, as far as the display, it does have the liquid retina display. And again, for the 11 inch, it's the exact same display as they had prior to the current one. But the resolution for the 13 inch is going to be increased, and the max nit gets increased from 500 to 600 to allow for that extra, be able to handle the outside better. Okay, so now let's talk about price and storage. One thing that's really important to note is the current iPad Air. It's being offered with a 64 gig, but this new one, they went ahead and doubled it. So it starts at 128 gig, and that is starting at $799 as a base price. The 256 gigabyte is $899. The 1 terabyte is $1299. Now, if you go ahead and add in the cellular feature, so you can have it, always have access to your internet, that does cost an extra $150. But If you're like me, someone who's always on the go, and I always have an iPad with me, having that cellular connection is really a must for me. Now, like I said at the beginning, if you like this comment, it would really help us out if you liked and subscribed. And again, be sure to make a comment. I would love to hear, what are you guys excited about? Are you not excited? Are you planning on getting one? Are you absolutely have no interest in it? Are you waiting for the new Macs to come out? They should be really rolling out with the M4 chip later this year to the beginning, middle end of next year. So definitely let me know kind of where you're looking at. I'm very interested. And as always, this is Mike at the Mac Orchard saying go forth, learn lots, be healthy.